Hey everyone,
Anyway,
welcome to the Hume Scope podcast, Roles and Lols. For those of you who don't know Hume Scope, we're a recruitment training business based in Australia, and to date we have trained thousands of recruiters across Oz, New Zealand, and a bit of Europe.
this is going to be a 10-minute quick tips and tricks with hopefully some laughs along the way for agency recruiters.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy, and if you ever have any topics you'd like us to cover in the poddy, please shout out. Otherwise, you'll see us every week on a Friday for 10-minute episodes. Hopefully you enjoy.
See ya. Here we are again at a new glass of wine 1 week later.
Welcome to this week's poddy. We're still out in the books. It's week 2 of 4. We're not actually here for 4 weeks, just FYI. We're recording all these episodes in the same day.
Yeah. We do actually do our jobs and we do work in the city.
But welcome back, team. This week, what we wanted to chat about was something that something that I know doesn't really get the kudos it deserves, because a lot of people have done this previously and it's seen as a wishy-washy exercise, and it is the word values. And I'm so hesitant to talk to clients about values because they go, oh, right, here we go.
Bit of a hype word.
Yeah.
And the same barrel is dynamic and
personal brand.
personal brand.
Like, that's what it is. That's what association is, but it's... and the reason why no one wants to talk about this is because big companies historically have done this really poorly. The leaders have decided what the values are. They've stuck them on a wall. The staff don't give two shits about those values. It's not them. It's not indicative of that business. And so they're just on a wall and no one cares about them.
Yeah.
But I think when done well, and we talk about this a lot in week 1 of our leadership course, which is an alignment of values and understanding what each person in your team genuinely values in life, not just their career. Because if you don't know that information, you actually can't effectively motivate someone. And I think back to, because me and Luce were on our planning weekend, but we were doing a values exercise in the car, and we were sort of talking about how our values potentially have changed in the last few years, because life changes, that we're in different spots in life. What we value is different. And so if I was going to motivate you based on what your values were 3 years ago, it would fall flat.
Yeah.
But motivating you with the things that I know motivate you and you truly value and where you're trying to get to in life, that we can work really well together because I know what you're actually aiming for. And so it's so much easier than to work with someone effectively if you know that information.
Yeah. And I think, like you said as well, that your value last year, or one of the ones that you valued, was freedom. But then to you now, freedom means something completely different to what it meant a year ago.
100%.
Yeah.
And I would so urge everyone to do a values exercise with their teams every single year. And for anyone listening that wants a bit more sort of insights into how they would go about doing that, happy to share a few documentation and sort of how-tos. But essentially what you're trying to get to is the core of the person. What do they genuinely value in life, and what does that mean to them? Because when most people do this exercise and skim over the surface and go, Paul, Lizzie, what do you value? So he goes, freedom. You're like, great, she loves freedom. That's what she values. But freedom to Lucy means something completely different to what freedom means to me. And so delving just that little bit deeper, getting to know your teams, one, it will help you motivate them a hell of a lot better because you know what they value. 2, your retention rates are incredibly higher. But if you genuinely know someone and you know how to engage with them, you know what they value, you can talk to them on their level, you've got someone that will stay with you for a long time. And it is so hard then for your competitors, other agencies, to try and poach those people because they've genuinely got an alignment with you. And 99% of the time when I was placing recruiters in recruitment agencies, we weren't talking about the salaries or comms. We were talking about the people within those businesses, and that's how I was selling these agencies. Is you will work with this leader. This is how they operate. These are their values, and that's what got them over the line.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that, like, annoys me about advertising roles. The salary piece of the job advertisement, because it's like, why you're advertising like we work, we get paid, like that's the standard. Yes, obviously there will be promotions and stuff, but that's not the reason. And even when people are saying they're moving for money, you could guarantee that there's a value piece underneath that of a reason why they're actually looking to leave, because there's not an alignment of values.
100%.
And I think when we're advertising roles, there has to be so much more underneath a salary. And when you're engaging with candidates and clients, there is always far more beneath that. And even if you have to just ask or probe a couple more questions, because then we find out at the end of the process
100%
that there's not an alignment.
And you get, even with your existing teams, like you get so much value. And I think you and I work so well together. We're so connected from a values perspective. But even when we were having that conversation on the way here in the car, and then you sort of saying things that are really important to you, and whilst I think I know what they are, but you said something that you just want to be very intentional next year. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I know that's important to you, but I didn't realise it was that important to you. And so when we're talking to clients and when we're trying to win new clients, the intention is to genuinely add value, and that's something that you truly value. And so if we can bring that out, it's nothing but amazing for the business and our client.
100%. And I think it's, my role is largely client facing, and we are working with clients that we, you would typically use language like, oh, we won this client, or yay, we've sold another thing. But for me, it's because we are intentionally working with clients that we've spent time with, building relationships with, that they know who we are beyond our role. We know who they are beyond the fact that they own an agency. And there is an alignment of values. And to me, that is what intention means. And when it's feeling about orangey, ready, flaggy, and we have those conversations. It isn't sitting well with me, and I'm not sure if it's maybe you would get on with them better because there might be more of an alignment there, or
if they're just not our vibe. Like literally, we had that today. Like we were going through a list of clients, booking in sort of review meetings. We had this client that worked with us a couple of years ago, and nothing untoward happened, but there wasn't an alignment. And so I was like, "Oh, Luce, what about this client?" And you were like, actually just don't think they're for us and we're not for them. And I'm like, the intention is always to help people. And I'm like, well, we could sell them courses, we could sell them our membership, but it's actually just not aligned. And so it allows you to walk away. But I think it then, if you know that about your team, you can just make far better decisions that won't then hamper the team and make them feel shit in their roles, leading to them wanting to leave.
100%. Yeah. No, I think the value piece is super important, not just in how you're advertising roles, but in your teams, the people you're working with, how you're making decisions for yourself and as a business, and where that comes from. And wishy-washy word or not, like it is, and maybe we could find a better word for it, but it is super important.
But it is. And last point on this, for any agency owners or leaders listening to this, one of the common mistakes that I see leaders and businesses make is assume that money is the main motivator for people. And, they're a bit shaky, we'll give them a big bonus, or we'll give them a promotion and an extra 20K. And whilst that will keep your employee just a little bit more engaged for 4 weeks, that goes back to disengagement, because money is not the thing that motivates 90% of the human race. It just isn't. It's a very short-term fix. It's a band-aid. However, if you know what someone's values are, and I keep on saying the words because I really want to hammer it home, you can motivate someone and give them something in times when someone might be a little bit disengaged. For example, I've thankfully never been in a situation with you, but if you were disengaged, I would not think of going, oh, hey, here's $5,000. I would go, hey, I booked you a little retreat for 5 days. It's a yoga retreat. I think you'll have an epic experience. That would be far cheaper as a business owner, leader to implement.
It would mean more to me.
I mean, hell of a lot more to you. That would keep you way more engaged than just $5,000. Give me $5,000.
I'm still a recruiter.
I'm disengaged. Give me $5,000 and the trip.
And the trip, What's your counter offer?
No, guys, we've got to finish this episode because we need to have a chat. But yeah, please try it if you guys need any advice on how to sort of roll out a chat around values, because it can be daunting if you've never had this type of chat with your team before. But I genuinely believe, and have experienced that to be nothing but an amazing thing for teams to bring them together.
Yeah, 100%, completely agree. And yeah, if you do want to, I mean, we're always having conversations about this with clients all the time. So yeah, if you want to chat, talk about it personally, or if it's for your team, then yeah we're here too.
All right, team, see you next week.
See ya.